So I chose Totodile for the starter for when I first played the game, and I was like, what, 8 years old? I thought he was just so cute, but like his moveset was like kind of garbage.
I know, man. Is he he physical or special? I always forget. I think he's physical.
Physical, but like there's no physical special split in the Pokemon. What'd you choose, Hasty?
True.
I'm a Cyndaquil fan for life, but I love Chikorita too. I think she deserves none of the hate that she gets.
Yeah,
she's adorable.
So good. What about you, Gabe?
So I love Cyndaquil as well.
Hey, what are you guys doing in there? Are you guys talking about? Are you guys talking about cool starters?
Who let this guy in? Who is this?
You got cool starters, guys?
You got games on your phone? Is this what's happening right now?
Nerd,
go!
Oh fuck! On my plushie!
No!
Not the turd twig.
Oh no.
Purdy.
Welcome everybody to the Boost You Podcast. Here at the Boost You Podcast, we like to talk about Nintendo games, new and old, review them, and give them a nice, look at in retrospect. But before we get into any of the games, today we are on our Gen 2 episode of Pokemon. And today I'm going to introduce myself as Flavlam.
Hi, I'm Gabe, Oryxelion96. And then here's Toad as well. He's beautiful, isn't he? Nice and handsome.
Hello, I am Short to Fuse, aka Fuse.
And today we have a beautiful, wonderful, lovely guest with us.
Hi, I'm Hasty Gloom.
Hi, Hasty. Thanks for coming.
Hi, y'all.
And welcome to the Boost View Podcast. Yeah, we talk about Nintendo games. I'm also excited to I know this is like a little bit of spoiler for the episode later on, but I'm really excited to talk to you about Skyward Sword, because there's not a lot of people on this earth that enjoy Skyward Sword.
Yes, I'm a diehard Skyward Sword fan. I'm so excited.
Yes,
about that.
Ancient sister.
Zelda.
Yeah, He's the guy with the gun from Call of Duty, right? Something like that, I think.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that
That's
one.
it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fuse has not played any of the Zelda games. We're trying to educate him.
played a little bit of
He's
Twilight.
gonna get there. He's gonna get there. Oh, he's played
Princess.
Twilight.
Yeah, which is
But he didn't
the best
finish
I
it.
one.
became a wolf.
Is it?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. I fished.
It's definitely not the best one to start with, even though that's the one I started with. But yeah.
Honestly, I still think that Skyward Sword is a really good first Zelda game. It's very straightforward and fun.
And chronologically,
Agreed.
First too. So,
Yeah.
Even though I know that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say. But today we're not talking about Skyward Sword. We're talking about Pokemon Generation 2. We're talking about
Not 7.
Silver, Gold, Crystal, and their respective remakes, Soul Silver and Heart Gold. Start us off. I didn't. So we're gonna talk about let's talk about how we played these games, if we played them at all. And yeah, so my experience with these games was I never played the original Gold, Silver, Crystal until they were remade on the 3DS. And on the 3DS, they're pretty fun. Or at least I only played Crystal. I didn't play the original Gold, Silver, whatever. But Crystal was fun. It was a little slow, but I think that's just part of it, because that was the second one ever, and they were trying to, or I guess technically the third iteration ever, and they were trying to,
right,
all these new things, and yeah, which we'll get into as we move forward. But I will say, Soul Silver and Heart Gold fucking rips ass. They're such great games.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, I agree.
They're such great games. I think I spent, if not more, definitely the same amount of time on those games than I did with Platinum, and I put Soul Silver, Heart Gold up there with the likes of Emerald and Platinum and
Totally.
the star games, But yeah, Hasty, start us off. How did you get these games, and what was your thoughts of them initially?
Yeah, so I played the original Gold, Silver, Crystal when I was a little kid. My very first game was Pokemon Yellow, and then my second was, I think, probably Pokemon Gold. I don't know why, but I remember having all three of versions of the game. I don't know if maybe when I was a kid I thought they were different games or something, so I convinced my dad. So I had gold, silver, and crystal all growing up.
Dang.
I lost my copy of gold for like 15 years and ended up finding it later when I was moving out of my dad's house, but crystal was definitely my favorite because you could play as a girl. And then heart gold.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was
That's
pumped
when they
about
introduced
that.
that.
Especially
Yeah.
blue-haired girl, like the best kind.
Ooh.
Cortana.
Exactly. Soul Silver, Heart Gold, legendary games. I remember I got them at Toys R Us before they went out of business. And Heart Gold, easily one of my favorite Pokemon games, like hands down, ever.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the big debate is like between which one's better, Soul Silver or Heart Gold, right? But I genuinely think it's preference because they put a lot of the features that were in Crystal into Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So
Yeah.
there's really, and you can get both of the box legends. It's just you get one earlier rather than later. That's the only huge difference that I remember. There's like a couple other things like post game legends. Like you'll get, if you get Soul Silver, you get Groudon, and if you get Heart Gold, you get Kyogre or something along those lines. Which I have a funny story about that. When I was a kid, I don't know how I did this or how I replicated that. I went into that like den or whatever you do to get those like legends. I somehow spawned Groudon twice. I don't know how I did it.
Groudon?
But I went in there and what? Did you make fun of how I said it? Groudon? How do you say it?
You said Groudon.
Groudon.
Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, FBI, we got him. There he is. He just
That's it.
Arrest him.
That's it. He's still mad about the fact that he says pseudo or whatever the fuck instead of pseudo.
He says vaz, it's like with a V, I think. I remember.
No,
I don't know.
it's pseudo.
Pseudo. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
shut up.
Mwah, love you, Fuse.
Yeah, pseudo. What do you mean pseudo? Who would say
What's
it's
going-
pseudo?
What is
That's so
That's
weird.
what he
It
says.
sounds like a type of
I don't
noodle
know
or something.
about that. It's like where you're trying to say Togetic as Togetic, Austin. It's kind of weird. It
I was
sucks.
5 years
I didn't
old.
say that either.
I was.
They're gaslighting me, Hasty. They're
Yeah.
gaslighting the
Behind the
shit out of
blind.
I
me.
say Togetic, so I don't know.
I'm gaslighting you. So
I pronounce every Pokemon name wrong, though, so don't look at me.
Yeah.
I do it for
That's
fun
fair.
because like my community gets fucking so bad.
Oh yeah,
so
no.
funny.
Quinn says Gyarados all the time, and she's like, "That's."
I say
that's-
Gyarados.
Yeah, Gyarados. Yeah, yep. And what was the other one?
I said Aegislash is Aegislash.
Aggie slash.
Aggie
Could have
slash.
his name.
Aggie Azalea slash. There she is.
Aegislash.
My favorite pop.
Anyways, Gabe, tell me about your first time with these games.
So I know my first Pokemon game was Yellow. I never did have Blue or Red when I was baby Gabe, but
Same.
yeah, I don't know. And then there was Green. Apparently there was a Green version. It was like Japanese only, so I
don't think those came.
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, so
Sure,
Silver.
why, though?
David had both Silver and Crystal on his Game Boy Color, and then shortly after, I think it was my birthday, I got a Game Boy Color, so he would let me play Silver. I was probably only like 5 or 6 when I played these games, and I mean, I remember always getting Cyndaquil, but this was like the one time I didn't get the Water type when I didn't like have my whole Water type starter thing going on yet, so I always picked Cyndaquil. Adorable Pokemon, obviously, but I remember this is what I did. I would just train him, and then I would have like a Bellsprout for cut, and then Cyndaquil, Totodile, or not Totodile, Typhlosion was like the only one on my team that was like a high level, so he'd be like, level 50 when I was fighting the Elite Four, and like there was just nobody else. Yeah.
When you're a kid.
That is the way to play
That's
the
just
game.
how you go.
Oh, yeah.
And then it is a war crime that they took his flames away in was it Gen 6 or 7? Or
Hey, he's just a little
something?
hamster
around
now.
there.
He's so
Hamster,
gross.
Yeah,
yeah.
he's just a naked boy.
Yeah,
He
what's
doesn't
going on
look
with
like
that?
like flame on. He's not like any of that. He's like chill.
But
It's
I
so
mean,
weird.
so I didn't have like obviously a lot of knowledge and like how to play this game yet. I would say I was just still, I was a kid. I would get mad if I didn't win the bug contest, so I would turn the Game Boy off and turn it back on. I'm like, I'm gonna win. Why did my Scyther get beat by a Weedle? What is going on? How is that Weedle cooler than my fucking Scyther, bro? What is happening? And then I also have a question for you guys. If they made, so it's Heart Gold, Soul Silver. What if Crystal? What if they, for some reason, did, Soul Crystal? What do you think Crystals would be called if, like, they made all 3 instead of just the 2? That's just what I've, like, randomly thought of, like, in a
Crackhead Crystal.
Crackhead Crystal.
Crackhead Crystal, true.
That's what you're playing, Fuse. That's what you're playing.
Brain Crystal.
Yeah, a Crackhead
Brain
Crystal
Crystal,
Kaizo Plus. Yeah, that's what I'm playing.
Yeah, I guess
yeah,
Heart Gold didn't really. That's not really a analogous. What I guess it'd be Soul Crystal. No, they said Soul Silver.
No, it's
so
heart and soul. So it's brain.
yeah. Well, what is?
Cranium
Oh, is that
crystal.
what Suicune represents? The brain.
Oh, I like cranium.
Cranium
Crystal. Oh wait, that's
Kinda
actually good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of am down for that. I do like Clear Crystal, maybe, because there's another ROM hack that's like called that too.
True.
So that could be work.
Ooh.
Well, Fuse, tell us about your first time with the game.
Okay, so I didn't get mine when they showed up, but I did get Pokemon Silver afterwards when actually this movie came out. So because I love Lugia so much of Pokemon 2000 movies, so I was like, "Yo, it's like it's the dude, it's the guy from the movie. We can go play with him, right?" So I did that, and fun fact, I never actually got even to the Elite Four in Pokemon Silver because I couldn't figure out how to get to Lugia in the darkness because I didn't want to give my Pokemon Flash. And in the Whirl Islands, you need Flash to see where you're going. And I couldn't figure it out. So eventually I quit and then I played my Yellow game because I loved Yellow so much. Yellow was also my first Pokemon game. And then Crystal came out. And I was like, oh my God, Crystal's amazing because the Pokemon move and stuff. I was like, oh my God, they have little animations. That's
they did that in Crystal?
Yeah, they did that in Crystal to let the little Pokemon like move around when they get thrown out into battle. I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. And so I played all of that. And then we got to like catch Suicune and stuff and like go fight Red. And I was like, that's the first one I actually like full on hands down beat besides Yellow. But it was like Crystal itself was fun. And then when I got older and the remakes came out, I got Heart Gold because I got Silver before as the first one. I want to try Ho-Oh and see if I'd do some weirdness to get to him. But luckily his was just a tower that we could see. So I beat that game pretty quick because I didn't have to worry about Flash or anything. But
it is a bit confusing to get to Lugia now that I remember. But
well, I was like 7 or 8 at the time. So I was like, how do I get to Lugia? I don't understand. And then at that point, I don't think my parents had a computer, so I couldn't look up how to find the way to get to there. So I was like, oh well, the game's over. That's as far as I can.
Life was hard back then. You couldn't just look it up.
I wish
you had to talk to all your friends and like get the action replay codes from like the Scholastic Book Fair book.
Oh my God, the Scholastic Book Fairs.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
the giant cheat code book.
I think Heart Gold Soul Silver was the first time I got like the book that showed like how to get to everything and what all the trainers had.
Right.
It was like the coolest thing ever.
Those are just the graphics themselves. You're like, damn, this is cool.
Just the graphic, like seeing the character on the page that like this is where you get to fight this person for the first time. I was like, oh my God, look, he's right there. It's so cool.
Have you ever seen that one like screenshot from one of those books where it's like, make sure you use your Master Ball on something important, like a Rattata.
Like a Rattata or a Fearow or a Tentacruel. It's like, what?
Fearow. A Tentacruel.
What are you smoking Oak? What are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
How did this man become a professor?
Oh my God.
How does this qualify a PhD? I was showing off when we were talking about Gen 4. I have one of those books for Platinum. Still my prized possession, even though it's beat to shit. But yeah, it's a great game or a great thing to have. But moving on, tell me about your favoritist starters, and then also your favoritist Pokemon from Gen 2 specifically. And we can kind of wrap that in with like some of the new features. I'll explain that. I'll go last this time. So yeah, Gabe, tell us about it.
So favorite starter for sure, Cyndaquil. I even started with Cyndaquil again when I got Heart Gold. David did Cyndaquil as well. He was Soul Silver. But I mean, he's adorable, and he's really good from what I remember, at least just for like the base game. I don't know if he's competitively good or not. I know you guys might know probably a little bit more about that. But there's honestly a few Pokemon that I love in this game. I know Dark type was introduced. We'll get to that later, but I forget, were Espeon and Umbreon introduced in Gen 2? So
they were indeed.
I would say those two are my favorite. Espeon is still my favorite evolution. Umbreon is like right beneath it for me, but and then is it Ampharos or I swear Ampharos.
Yeah, Ampharos.
Yeah.
Ampharos. Yep.
Ampharos. So Ampharos, adorable. The fact that isn't it like Dragon type once it's Mega? I want
It
to say it's
is.
like
When it mega evolves, yeah.
that's
It's
so
his
sick.
hair.
Yeah.
The
I know.
best
Giant
hair ever
maze.
added to a Pokemon.
Like
ever.
they
Yep.
didn't need to do that, but they did.
They sure did.
It was beautiful. It was wonderful.
And then Togetic. No, I'm just kidding. Not Togetic. Hoppip, bro. Hoppip. I know Hoppip is not good at all by any means, but bro, that is the most head empty looking Pokemon of this generation, and I love it so much. It's adorable. It is so adorable.
It's so good.
Pichu. There's Pichu. Yeah. Okay. So I was looking at the Sarah B Pokedex just to make sure I had everything, but yeah. Oh my God, Tyranitar is in this game too. That's right.
Yeah, T-Tar is the pseudo.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. Sorry, but yeah, you guys go on, please. I can just keep going on and on.
Views.
Okay, so for my starter pick, I picked Totodile because he was a little gator man, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm not gonna lie, somewhat regretted it later as I became older and realized what stats were for a thing.
Right.
Because its moveset, like I was saying, it's so bad. It's so bad. Like
Stats don't matter.
everything, like for me,
He just
well,
munch
at
boy.
least
He just
in
wanna
Crystal
bite.
Cosmos
What's in
Plus
here?
now. I mean, true. I like the design of Totodile, but then I'm not gonna lie, like I do love Cyndaquil, but I do like if I had to pick another one that I like, really liked, I'd pick Chikorita because I thought Chikorita was like so cool, and I was like so badass. It got Razor Leaf so early. I was like, oh my god, this is an attack that like everything gets weak to, we're just gonna go in. And then Bayleaf, it becomes Bayleaf, and Bayleaf's like, oh my god, this is so cool. I love Bayleaf. And then Meganium, I'm like, you know what, you're okay.
He's a big flower.
You're
He
okay.
he's another like head empty, no thoughts behind.
Yeah, I dig all the starters of Gen 2. Like I love them all respectfully. As far as favorite Pokemon in this game, my second favorite Pokemon of all time, diehard fan, is Pichu, and it's just a little guy. It's just a little baby, and I love it forever. Sweet, it's just
Yeah,
so
this generation
sweet.
introduced.
I've had this since I was probably like 8 or 9. So yeah. OG.
For those listening and those who don't know, baby Pokemon were introduced in this generation along with other stuff. I'll touch on it in a second. But you have a lot of like pre-evolutions instead of like post-evolutions. So like Pichu and Snubble,
Cleffa.
Cleffa. I mean, there's a ton of. Togepi was technically a baby Pokemon.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't think of any more off the top of my head.
Was
but I
mine
know there's
Junior
a
Gen
good
2?
handful. Yes, it was. Yeah, that's another one. Mine Junior.
Mine Junior wasn't in Gen 2 though.
Bonsly and
Oh, it wasn't Gen 2. Okay.
Gen 4.
it wasn't.
Gen 4.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, my bad.
No, you're fine. It's,
Anyway.
it's
I
still a
couldn't
baby
remember.
though. It's still a baby. So.
It is a baby Pokemon, yeah.
But,
But they introduced the concept of
My
baby.
dad is here.
Derek!
Oh my God, I love him.
The
Oh my
secret
God.
guest.
He
Hello.
is. Oh, he's so fluffy. Look
He's
at him.
so fluffy.
Fluffiest boy.
He looks like my cat Louie, but I think Louie's a little less fluffy, but very just chill and lets you hold him. Oh my God, I love him.
Yeah.
He's a void
that's
too.
so good.
He just lives his best life.
Yes. He kind of looks like if Entei, had a baby black cat. You know?
Yeah.
He's an edgy Entei.
Yeah.
Well, while the attention's on you, Hasty, tell us about your starter and some of your favorite Pokemon.
Yeah. So my favorite starter Gen 2 is definitely Cyndaquil, more specifically Quilava. Big Quilava guy. I always hesitated
Interesting.
evolving it when I was younger.
Yeah.
He's just so cute. I really like Chikorita though. Chikorita was always my go-to one in Mystery Dungeon. Like I got it by accident my very first time playing it, and then every time I was like, I want to make sure I get Chikorita again.
Yeah.
So I love Chikorita. I also love this is a random obscure poll, but do you remember the like Meganium part in the new Pokemon Snap where it was like all lit up in the
Yeah,
forest and stuff
in
like
the
that?
new one, right? Yeah, and he's like
Yeah.
massive.
That,
No,
like-
not Chodeflosion. No.
Why did they do this, bro?
No.
Why? Like, what is? Sorry, I was trying to like sneak this in and do it
No,
after,
he's
but
so gross.
come on.
Jump
So
scare.
yeah,
Jump
They
scare.
for
did
real.
it. They did him dirty, dude. Oh,
I'm taking him. I'm taking him off.
They
Get-
like
get-
all of a sudden changed it that the flames appear when he's angry.
right.
But like,
Yeah.
but what the hell?
Yeah.
I was
They
like,
didn't need to do that.
On.
so crazy.
Yeah. Anywho.
Anywho, but I think that Meganium thing, like, I think that changed Meganium for a lot of people. And
It was very pretty.
yeah, but my very first shiny starter Pokemon ever was a Totodile in Heart Gold.
Let's
So
go.
I kind of like Totodile for that reason, but it wasn't my goal.
What color is shiny
Oh my
Totodile?
boy.
Is it like a?
It's like a lightish blue, right?
Yeah, it's like just a little more lighter tealish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I see. Yep.
It's easy to notice. I definitely know that.
Right.
Yeah.
I always love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that starter hunt is really fun.
I think all the Gen 2 starters shinies are pretty easy to identify, which I actually like all of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of shinies, and also just a number of things that this game introduced a shit ton of stuff into the series that we take to this day for granted.
Like what, Austin?
Big shinies,
Yes.
for one. That was Generation 2. That's when they were introduced. Eggs, being able to breed Pokemon and breed new Pokemon. That's another one thing that they added eggs. They've also added 2 new types. Dark and Steel type were added in this generation. I know, that's why one of the evolutions was Dark. And then you also had some... It'd be crazy if we got a Steel evolution
that would
back
be cool.
then instead of...
Yeah.
I mean, not saying Espeon's not great, but...
She's
you
the
know,
best.
it'd been kind of neat. Yeah. Yeah, so that was really cool. I can't think of like what other Steel. Okay, I guess there's Skarmory. Like that's Gabe's favorite
Skarmory.
Pokemon.
Oh yeah, he's
Come on,
Skarmory's like
Mr.
my.
You're this.
Yeah.
Listen,
He's the Skarmory guy. Come on.
One of my favorite, Skarmory's like amazing. One of my favorite steals of that generation that was introduced was Scizor.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. I forget that. Yeah, Scissor's a great one.
One thing, but it's ×4. But still, he's a badass.
Is Weavile part Dark? Is it Ice Dark?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Weavile was this generation. Like Sneasel. Wait. Was Weavile this generation? I know Sneasel was, but was the evolution in this one? No, it was Gen 4.
Gen 4.
But Sneasel was still Dark Ice, though, right?
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you have that Pokemon. That's a good one. Oh, I guess I didn't say my starter. I mean, if you couldn't fucking tell already, I'm probably
Chikorita.
gonna
Chikorita.
I got to myself.
Yep.
Yep. There it is. You got it.
Yeah, Chikorita.
I like how just like. Oh wait, here you know.
Yeah.
What? I have something else to say.
And yeah, that they also added. So then they also added the ability to choose gender in this game, as Hasty mentioned. That was pretty cool. A lot of first day-night cycle. That's another one that they introduced. That was pretty friggin' cool.
There you go.
What's that? Ooh, that's a cool.
I got that from
custom art.
original 151. Which Fuse, I need to send you your thing, and then Austin, I got your pack for you, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna link up with you in like June. So
Yeah, I'll beat you up if you don't send it to me.
I just want to take your money, man. Just please give me more money.
Shout out to 151. It's a store, Hasty, in Ohio where Gabe lives. It's like it has like all the Pokemon plushies ever. It's like its own little Pokemon center essentially. They basically order everything from Pokemon Center and put it in a brick and mortar and resell it.
Yep.
Dang,
And
that's
it's
cool.
great. Yeah, it's awesome. And, along with like Japanese exclusive stuffs and yeah. Anyways, yeah. So 151, if you want to sponsor the podcast,
Please and thank you. I'll buy
They
it.
only have
thank
one
you.
location.
I think so. I mean, there's probably other stores that are like that do the same kind of thing, but it's kind of like near like Cincinnati area, and you know, it's we go there probably like once every few months or something.
That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so something that was a little off topic. This is also one of the, I think it's the first and only generation other than like new games. We'll say old gen. When I say old gen, I always mean Gen 5 and earlier. New gen meaning like you start to get to 3D stuff, so like Gen 6 and further.
Right.
So in old gen, I think it's the first and only time they really did like an open world type scenario. Like after you beat the 4th gym, you basically can, there's not a linear direction for you to go. You can beat the gyms in any order that you would like, and then you go to the last gym. So this was like the first time they really kind of explored with like letting the character go and do that, but sadly they did it to a detriment, I think, because you end up being really over leveled for like the first like part of the main game by the time you get to the end of it. I always found the Elite Four really easy. I always found like the end game really easy. Post game, different scenario. We can talk about that here in a second. But yeah, I just want to know, you don't always all have to have like an opinion on it, but if you guys have something to say about it, about like how your experiences, like how it was unlinear, and also just like experiences with the game going, like beating the HMs and whatnot, let me know.
I had no idea you could like beat the gyms in any order after the 4th. I thought it was just a linear 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, blah blah blah, like that.
After the 4th, you get access to Surf, and then you can go practically anywhere
Right.
you
Yeah,
need to.
it's like
the
once you hit
entirety of-
Ecruteak City, there's like
Mhm.
multiple
Oh, shit.
directions you
Yeah,
can take.
I mean, honestly, you could go right next door and just start I believe the Team Rocket stuff, and just go fight the Ice
Mhm.
Gym before you even go
Yeah.
fight the Steel Gym, and the Fighting Gym.
And the
So-
levels, so the levels do scale with where you are in the game?
No.
They don't.
No.
They
Oh,
don't. They just
okay.
all
Okay.
everything is just level like 30, 40 from that point on, and
Yeah.
there's no.
Oh.
So it doesn't scale. They like are all like the last three gyms 5, 6, and 7 are all the same level, and everything that you do between all that is all the same level ish, like in difficulty. And then the 8th gym gets a little higher in difficulty, and same with the E4. But I think like the highest level in the E4 is like maybe 50. If
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
Something
So
along those lines.
yeah. Anyways.
I think the thing that I didn't like when I played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, I didn't pay much attention to this in like playing Crystal. Is the fact that like I beat the 5th and 6th gym, and I go to fight the Ice Gym, which I'm assuming should be like, all right, it's be like 30s or 40s or so. But then I'm going to the Lake of Rage, and I'm fighting trainers that have a level 12 Bellsprout. I'm like,
Yeah.
how?
Yeah.
What? I one tap you with the Togepi that I was given by the professor earlier. Like, what's going on
Yeah,
here?
really.
Come on. And I was like, at least make these guys like 30. Like, how am I supposed to get decent experience? I have to like use my like level 50 for alligator at this point just to go and stomp everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Casey?
What was the question? I think we were just talking about stuff.
Yeah, we're
I know,
just kind
we're
of
just talking about shit,
just
right?
word vomiting.
Just like your opinions on like your experience with just like the non-linearity, and then also your opinion, like experience and opinions on I guess the other thing you could say. Oh shit, I had it in my head. Fuck. So there's that, and then there was a second thing I wanted to say. Fuck, what was it? Just talk about that real quick.
Start
It'll
with
come
the
back to me, I swear to God.
non-linearity part.
Yeah, start with that. Start with that. I
We
know there
can
was
also
another
talk
thing.
about your favorite like dark and steel types, or if
True,
you
true.
begin
already
with
took that.
anything about. I know. I'm just saying.
Do you like slowpoke tails, Hasty? Do you
I
like
love
Like
slow
slowpoke
pokes,
tails?
but not poke tails.
Not the poke
Oh my
tails. I became a
Actually,
slowpoke advocate in this game. I tell you, when I found out they were chopping
Save
tails
the
off.
slowpoke.
I have,
Oh
I,
my
I have a good question we can talk about.
Yeah.
So in
That's
this
cool.
game, we also introduced to Kurt, the Pokeball maker, who made
Oh,
special
yeah.
Pokeballs besides great Pokeballs.
Oh.
Do you guys have a favorite Pokeball? Because mine was always like the lure ball for like catching water types, because water types like some of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So I loved having those.
If I'm thinking from my Gen 2 younger self perspective, I honestly didn't care at all. It was like Ultra Ball or bust. Like, I just want that
True.
thing to get in the ball. I don't care.
Fair.
Nowadays, when it comes to the Apricorn balls, I mean, like, my favorite Pokeball of all time is the Pokeball. Like, I'm very basic. But I mean, like, I'm a big fan of like the Moon Ball, Dream Ball, Love Ball, Friend Ball. Those are all they're all fun. But
Love ball.
I'm
looking at it right here, yeah.
Ironically, I love the Premier Ball, the white and
Premier is
red around this.
Yeah.
Premier's
It's pretty clean to me. But it's just a shame you can only get it by buying giant Pokeballs in bulk.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever even caught a Pokemon with the Premier Ball, because like it just sucks so bad. I feel like it just can't catch anything.
It's just it's funny. I would use it just to like as like a Hail Mary attempt, and I did it one time. I remember the first time I did this was an Abra, and it was they'd teleport away turn 1 whatever. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna Hail Mary this Premier Ball. It looks different, it looks silly, and so that it caught it like first try, and I was like, let's go.
Gamer.
I know.
Gamer
we
let's
balled
go.
out. Yeah, for sure.
I really like the dive ball, like the pure blue and then the white.
Yeah.
I was
yeah,
like, yo,
that's a
that's
good
like
one.
amazing. It's like if I had to pick
Yeah.
a favorite, I'd probably pick that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I remember what I was gonna say.
There you go.
This generation, as good as it is, everything is. I think obviously Heart Gold, Soul Silver was able to execute this a lot better because they had a lot more. They had 4 generations of Pokemon to execute on. But at least in the original one, I think this is also one of the games with the weakest decks. Just because it's basically Dex 1, and then they add maybe 50 Pokemon. I think like it's a very small number. Like it is not a very big number of new Pokemon in general. Because I mean, it's just it's basically, it feels like DLC to Kanto at that point, at least in terms of the decks. Because you have the baby Pokemon, you have like T-Tar, you have evolutions and a couple other things here and there, but otherwise there's not like a huge number of new Pokemon, at least to my recollection. So I definitely think it's like one of the weaker points, especially with at least the original 3 games. I think they flesh it out a little bit better in the remakes. But yeah, that's, I don't know. Anyone
I agree with that, because I think it feels like Johto was literally meant to be like a sequel to Kanto. I don't think it was meant to be its own new entire Pokedex. It was meant to be like, here's this +1. And then when you beat the game, you get to go back to the first one. And wasn't that so exciting? Yeah. Like all the original places you remember from the first game. They probably didn't even expect it to blow up as much as it did and need to keep making generations of Pokemon. They were probably like, all right, this is enough.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, we'll just give them a little bonus. And
I will speak of a different opinion. I think that the Dex was actually very well done, because I believe around in this generation, like the first generation, you got the original 151 Pokemon, including Mew and Mewtwo and stuff. This one, I think they introduced like 100, but then I think it feels less because the baby Pokemon are just pre-evolutions of the Pokemon that already exist, where they added evolutions to other stuff like Steelix, Scizor, trying to think of another good example here. And then they add the 2 additional evolutions to Eevee, so you can still get the Jolteon and Vaporeon and stuff. But I think compared to like some of the other games, it's got like, it added a bunch of interesting Pokemon to the thing, like Gligar. I love Gligar out of all the like the new ones, because then like Gliscor is huge and competitive. They added that in Gen 4 and stuff.
Shuckle!
How
do we
forget
Shuckle?
How would you forget Shuckle, Austin? Of course.
Wow.
You're boasted.
I'm distraught.
What are you doing? What does Totodile to do with this?
Oh my god, dude. Crazy. But
oh, and then we got Slugma.
I totally agree with you, because like I recently did that ultimate Pokemon list thing where it was like all the gens listed out, and Gen 2.
Oh, you can make like the row and then like choose how
exactly.
I did that too. It's amazing.
Gen 2 was like genuinely really hard, because I love every single one of those Pokemon. There's so many that are so dear and so cute. So many cute Pokemon.
Bro, Mareep alone, it's such a good, it's definitely my top 10 Pokemon. Not even Ampharos itself. I mean, Ampharos is great, but just Mareep itself is just so ugly. I want to get a
Remoraid?
The goat?
Kidding.
Swinub?
Swinub? Yeah, seriously?
I love them.
Delibird?
Delibird.
Literal Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Literal Santa Claus. Yeah, so Hasty, you mentioned this post-game thing. So I'm gonna, for the audience and anyone who may not know, I'll kind of just glide over the story real quick, and then we can talk about like the post-game as well.
Okay.
So main story of this Gen 2 was that in Gen 1, you spoilers, you beat Team Rocket and they disband, and Giovanni's like, no, that one honestly doesn't make that much sense to me, to keep it real with y'all, but which we'll talk about that more in 2 weeks. But you go and there's Team Rocket's in this region, and they're trying to take over. They take over like the radio tower at some point in one of the cities, and you have to kind of just be like, go away, you're annoying. You go and beat them all up. And they also take over the Lake of Rage, where you're introduced to the Red Gyarados, shiny Pokemon in general. And you and Lance kind of go through, and it's kind of a cool sequence, honestly, as cool as they could have made it back in the day, right? Where you and Lance, and you see his Dragonite just kick ass and bust through a bunch of stuff through the base. Yeah, totally. But that's really the last of it that you hear from like once you beat them in Lake of Rage. You don't really hear from them until parts of the post game. So as you go through the post game, though, and this is the first time they've ever done this, and I don't think they've done something like this since. You go back. You get all of Kanto to go back to, and you can go and rematch all the gym leaders. You can go and do all the routes. You can find all the new Pokemon. You basically just get 2 games in one. Honestly, it's kind of insane. Yeah. In this post game, I believe I'm a little hazy on this one, especially I think it was more in the new games. But there's a sequence where you do like a final beat up of like the people who were trying to get Team Rocket to come back, and basically you're like, you get Giovanni to say to them that he's like, nah, we're not doing this no more. Don't try it. And in that sequence, there's like a DLC thing or like an event thing where you get Celebi. You literally go back in time and you see your rival, what I guess Silver is his like default name, talking to Giovanni and they implying that he's like his like bastard child or bastard son, and I'm like, whoa, that's insane. That's actually kind of crazy for Pokemon to do that. It's one of the cool like events, honestly, that they do is, and I really, again, fingers crossed, if they do another Legends game, I hope it's Johto, and I hope it involves a lot of like Celebi time traveling stuff. I think that'd be really neat. But again, you know,
I would love that.
I have my fingers crossed for a lot of I have my fingers crossed for a lot of things that Pokemon does, and yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Anywho, but yeah, that's kind of the post game, and then the last thing in the post game that's not really related to any of the Team Rocket stuff is you go to Mount Silver and you find the version of yourself, technically, from the first game, named Red, that character, and he is maxed out on like everything in Pokemon, stats, everything. And I know Fuse says he beat him first try, supposedly, but bro hands you your ass on a silver platter if you were not prepared or ready,
or a gold platter.
Honestly,
that sounds like a skill diff for you, Flam. I'm just gonna say that.
Whatever. He's honestly the one other trainer in Pokemon that's scarier than Cynthia.
Doesn't
in my
he have
opinion.
like a level 90 Pikachu or something?
He does.
Yeah, it's his Pokemon in the 90s.
Awesome.
It's insane.
That's so cool.
Yeah, he runs a Pikachu, a Snorlax, a Lapras, and then the 3 starters from Kanto.
Yep.
It is insane. He runs a stellar stacked team, especially for Generation 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that's kind of the rundown of that. If you guys have anything to add to that, go for it.
Dude, I never watched that cutscene when I was younger playing Heart Gold, but I remember like one day I just like it was on Pokemon Wiki somewhere, like fucking Cerebi, whatever. And I like read about that and was like, what? I would have never thought that like Silver was connected to Team Rocket, because they don't really imply that at all in the game.
Nope,
otherwise.
It's literally only in that sequence. That's it.
Yeah, it's so crazy to me, but that's such a cool storyline addition that they should have totally like
kind of fleshed out more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or foreshadowed in some way.
Right.
Because you're not really meant to care for Silver at all.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's just a poop head.
Something to just say like,
They're
this is why I'm disgruntled, or he's trying to like prove himself to his dad.
Yeah,
right?
the entire time they're just trying to make Silver like this like wannabe like for the entire time. Like seriously. Like,
I mean, I thought he was cute when I was younger. I was like, he's cool.
The red hair, like
Hasty was
so
not
true.
like the other girls.
I was like, his name's question mark, question mark, question mark. He's so cool.
I can fix him. I can fix him.
No, the game literally was like, what's his name? And I was like, you just told me. And I wrote in question mark, question mark, question mark.
Amazing.
I was like, oh, it's just a test.
So good.
Well, I mean, on that, what are some y'all's favorite characters? Obviously, Hasty, you just mentioned Silver, and then like for me, I mean, Lance is pretty fucking sick, dude. Lance just kicks ass. He's in the first game technically, but he has like a way bigger role to play, especially just that when you're just running through Team Rocket in that base is just so fun. But yeah, anyways, y'all tell me your favorite characters.
Yeah, Lance is really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree. Yeah, Lance cool.
Lance cool. Great.
That's cool, Paul.
I had like the biggest crush on Whitney, even when she goes and kicks my ass with Miltank.
Right.
There's something about that that's really nice in a woman, though.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, true. Honestly, some of my other favorite, I loved Morty, the ghost gym leader.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
Yeah.
He is neat.
Yeah.
He's a cool one.
Like showing out with him and like Brendan is what got my obsessed with headbands. So, because like when I saw him, I was like, oh my god, this dude's cool. He has a Gengar. That's amazing. That's I was like, that's the quota for young Fuse. Like, if you have a Gengar, you're automatically on my cool list. So like,
you made it.
That's about it. You made it. You're here. You're on the list.
Trade Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh my god, amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I love about the Whitney interaction when you beat her and she cries?
Yeah.
You go talk to
you have to go back and talk to her. Yeah.
You go talk to the guy at the gym, entrance guy, whatever, standing at the vestibule, and he's like, oh yeah, she does this all the time, bro. Like, just go talk to her again. And I'm like, you're a G. You're a G. He's like, she's just known to, she's a sore loser. That was funny.
What is it? The kimono ladies or the kimono crew? That's a quote. A bunch of characters.
Fair, yeah.
I forget what I think that might be their name. It's something.
I think kimono ladies are like what they're called. There's like 6 of them.
Yeah, it's either kimono girls or kimono
6 or
ladies.
5 of them, something along
They
those
each had an
lines.
evolution, right?
Yeah, each
Yeah,
had an evolution.
I think it's 5. So because it's one for each. Yep,
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay,
I remember
guys.
thinking that like they were spinning around in circles, and but I could see them dancing. They were so beautiful.
I know. You're like, whoa,
True.
it's crazy.
The
Not Crasher Wake. I keep wanting to call him Crasher Wake, but he looks like Crasher Wake, the fighting gym leader, when he's just literally under a waterfall.
Oh,
and he's
Chuck?
yeah.
Chuck.
Oh,
That's
remember
it,
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a primate. He's cool.
Yeah, Chuck was cool.
Yep.
I
Don't
think,
do it. Don't do it. Don't start, you two. Don't do it. They were on the edge.
No, this was totally. I had something totally different in mind, but I mean, we can if you
Yeah.
want.
Right, you know.
I think we can all agree the coolest character though is the wild tree that attacks you, because what is that wild tree that attacks you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true.
What a
Pseudo
weird thing. What a very weird just thing that happens in the game.
That's when Pokemon
Yeah.
started making you obsessed with like harassing Pseudo Wudo. They're like, you have to dump water on it. Like,
Dump water on him,
dances
get him
messed
out of your
up.
way.
He does that. If you click A, he does this or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like you're hurting it.
Weird.
Okay,
Oh, for sure.
This game had some really cool set points, places you visit. I mean, Bellsprout Tower, just very weird and strange, but very, pretty for its time. The well, you went into a well. Yeah, I know that's kind of not beautiful or anything, but
Still,
it's interesting.
yeah.
Neat.
Those little tails, right?
The Whirlpool Islands or whatever it's called, I can't remember.
The whirlpools
I like-
were I was like, stop hindering me. What are you
Yeah, I
doing?
thought those things were crazy.
The Ruins of Alf, those were creepy, and I don't think I ever cracked the code or
the
finished.
unknown.
Bro,
Unknowns.
never.
Oh, the
I
unknowns.
never.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I
The
found an
unknowns.
unknown or two once, but I had no clue how I did it. I was like, whoa.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, what?
Fun story. Kid Fuse caught an unknown. I don't remember what letter it was, but I grinded that unknown. I was like, when does this thing learn any other attack? Like I had a level 47 unknown in week 4.
God.
Then I'm like, because apparently my hidden power was I think it was either psychic or ice. So I was like, I threw it at Lance and it just used its attack, and I was like, okay, Dragonite's dead. That's cool.
That's
You're like, when does this
amazing.
thing
What a
become
meta.
known?
attack.
I know, right?
I was like, what is this? I was so confused that later I was like, oh, it only gets hidden power. Great to know. Love it here.
It's OP, bro. That is the most OP
OP.
Pokemon ever.
Yep.
Yeah,
Literally.
yeah, for real.
A living
Garchomp
legend.
who? Yeah.
Who's Garchomp? Don't know him.
I think the character and location though would be what is it, the Burnt Tower, where you encounter Suicune or the dog Pokemon for the first time,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
also
Yeah.
encounter the guy who is, what's the guy's name who's obsessed with Suicune, and he's chasing him around the region and stuff. I
Zelda.
forget, but
Zelda.
I can think
Yeah.
of his I can see his character design and everything. He's got the purple and the white cape and everything.
Let's
He's
name
really
him
cool.
Max. Max works for me.
All right,
Max.
Maximilian. There it is.
Yeah, Maximilian
Hasty, I think,
Pegasus.
is searching. I think Hasty's searching
No,
vigorously right now.
I don't know
no.
his name.
I know who
Starts
you're
with
talking
a
about, but
C? Ness?
Clyde?
Clyde? Syllabus.
Hang on.
Syllabus? Do you say syllabus?
Yeah, syllabus.
It's an ass. Or did you say?
Ash Jeeves.
oh, Eugene.
Eugene.
That's right.
Eugene.
I was looking at
Beautiful.
I was looking
I
at
know
gold
if I
silver.
remember that.
Oh,
never
I
remember
see.
that.
Yeah.
Crystal, yeah.
Oh my god.
Eugene. Yeah.
I think the
I wanna
best
say-
character number 1 though actually really might be Joey.
Which one's
Oh,
Joey?
true.
Youngster
Joey,
let's
got your
go.
number.
With
Always
The
there for you, bro.
Rattata.
Oh my god,
Number
bro.
one
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Rattata in the entire world. Youngster Joey.
He
Gotta
had me
love
at
If
eight
him.
years
nobody
old
got
being like,
you-
lose my number.
Oh, the phone
Bro,
in
if
the
nobody
game.
got you, Joey got you, man. He's always on the.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
always on the line. He's
we had
ready.
phones in this game.
Yeah, bro. We
Yeah.
had phones
Yeah.
before we had phones.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And it was a
Crazy.
radio.
We bump into the Snorlax music.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
the
no.
Snorlax music.
The
Make him wake
Snorlax
up, yeah.
channel for the Pokeflute.
I know, that was funny.
Snorlax.
Oh my god.
Whole radio channel.
Oh wait,
okay,
didn't Team
well,
Rocket take over the radio tower?
Yeah, so
Then
that.
we had to fight them. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Forgot
the
about that.
first big takeover, and then you fight them and the rage. Yeah, I should have said that.
Engie.
But yeah, speaking of music, Gabe, it's time.
Oh my God,
It's
what time is
for a
it?
Music showcase. Music showcase.
Musica,
Woo!
my
so
favorite.
we're gonna
Musica.
share screens, and we're just gonna listen to some music and talk about how fucking kick ass it is from this game. So yeah. So Gabe, share the screen. All right, let me.
First one I got to start with is my brother's favorite song, "The National Park." The most melodic, like it's like the most I would say probably one of the most melodic Pokemon songs ever. So pretty. You step out kind of into the safari. It's not even a safari zone. There's another safari zone in the when you surf to the steel gym leader lady. But yeah, so this gorgeous song. Give me that piano. Now this sounds a lot like a Studio Ghibli movie, like Spirited Away or Howl's Moving Castle or something.
Sounds like it's something out of Gen 4.
Yeah, I can't believe this came out of a Nintendo DS.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
It's just so good. That's the one thing Pokemon's always consistent on. Music, man. They're always consistent. Yeah. They always. And I can't wait for Toby Fox to take over the entire thing in the next generation. They already took over half of it in this past gen, so
yeah,
it's coming. It's coming.
You cracked it.
All right, the routes.
Another very good. Actually, you know what? Here let's start with what route is it? No, that's Runes of Alph. Oh my god, I literally had it. That is, yes, very creepy song. I loved this remake. I loved in the remakes Route 29, the very first route, because just the intro to it is so cute, but so bouncy, very New Adventure kind of sounding. Fades out and comes back. Totodile dance, baby. You got the moves.
Totodile getting squashed out there by Hoot Hoots right now.
Oh my god.
That's great.
It was very reminiscent of Gen 1. I would say this song is. I just spit on my own hand. Oh, interesting. But
sexy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, shut up.
Yeah, so I remember, dude, it's content, bro. I'm kidding. Yeah, this I think this game had another good amount of route music, city themes. I'd say Gen 3 and 4 probably had a little bit better, but another good route theme, but also the Lake of Rage is not just the route, but it's also the lake itself, the setting. I'm doing the original music of this just because I feel like I kind of like the original one a little bit more. I feel like it sounds a little bit better relative to the quality, the age that it is. But yeah, this sounds kind of like something like Endgame, very close to the end of the game, end of the main, before you hit the.
It is kind of crazy that it's they're able to communicate such depth in this music in such an old from a fucking Game Boy. Not only we were already impressed with the DS, but this is insane that this is coming out of something, I don't know, Game Boy Color or whatever.
Symphony.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. It's crazy to me. Crazy.
This is one of those songs, Lake of Rage, I've heard so much of in lo-fi remixes, orchestrated remixes, things like that. I think it stands the test of time for being
top 10 Pokemon music or whatever, or route music or something.
Exactly. Okay, so the next one I wanted to do, that was Route 29, so that's already did that. Which one was this? Oh, Azalea Town. Bro, this one I love because there's a meme I have with it. It's Pikachu going like this, I'm losing my fucking mind, and he's dancing around. It's the GIF or whatever, but this is a bop. This is just a fun kind of bouncy song. You see the tail is slow pokes right there.
Or slow pokes.
And then facing the hardest gym battle of your entire life.
I know, right?
Oh god.
Which one was this? I forgot.
The bug gym. I don't know why that battle is so hard, but man, it's such a gatekeep. Because you do that and the Team Rocket stuff at the same time, and it's just a bitch to get through for some reason.
I hate Croconaw specifically because of what he did to me in Azalea Town as a kid.
Yup.
Just wrecked my life.
I love seeing those little slowpoke sprites. They're so cute and just look like total dopes. Okay, so Runes of Alph, very creepy. This is the kind of I get Pokemon Tower vibes from Runes of Alph.
Or
very mysterious, but yeah, very creepy, haunted.
Or what's that town? What's the town? Lavender Town.
Oh, Lavender Town. Yeah.
This song's so good.
I know.
It is.
It slaps.
So spooky.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely one of the most haunting Pokemon songs for sure. I would say, obviously, the old Chateau is the most haunting because it's literally like a haunted house,
Yeah,
whatever.
right.
But yeah, this one, this one doesn't. Yeah.
Something about also the Game Boy like grain really adds to how spooky it sounds. I don't know why. Like if it didn't have that, I think it would be a lot harder to communicate like how spooky and scary this place is. And it's just something about that grain that like adds another layer of like, oh, this is
Like it
weird.
sounds so old, it's almost out of tune.
Yeah, exactly.
Like an old piano that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, and then so Austin, I know you requested these last two, but I mean, most people who've played, Gen 2, the whole like red battle, all that stuff. What is it? I almost said Planet Silver, Mount Silver, and Indigo Plateau. I was looking at Plateau, but then I was looking at Silver Red afterwards. But
Mount Plateau and Indigo Silver.
That's where Silver
Planet Fitness,
from, right? Yeah.
Planet Fitness.
Exactly. But yeah, so Heart Gold Soul Silver version of Indigo Plateau outside Mount Silver.
It's very good.
It
definitely feels very like I'm going to take on a big challenge,
Yeah.
I'm about to fight God.
Yeah, exactly.
It was pretty average, if you ask me.
Oh my
Yeah, I don't mean to brag, but killed that Pikachu. I killed Snorlax in one hit. I killed Snorlax in one hit.
Go Primate.
Yep, that's right. Spinops.
They did it. They said it.
Spidops is 100% the worst Pokemon of the history of time.
Girl.
Fuck you, Gabe.
Fuck you.
Okay,
all right.
Pasty, they argue every episode about whether Annihilape or Spidops is better. And
Look,
so
Gabe,
that's where that comes from.
I have a permit
For
to say that Spidops is garbage.
No, I get it. Spidops is way too powerful. You guys just.
Pasty, you would be surprised. We've had a lot of guests side with the Spidops.
The only thing good about Spidops is that his shiny is bi flag colors. That is
Bro,
the only thing.
he's an
Thank
That's it. That's it.
And I have him.
Gabe, I have a permit that says I can say Spidops' ass.
Wait,
where'd you get this permit? Where was this? Oh my god, I can do what I. Okay. Well, that
so
seems official.
dumb.
Okay, yeah, official permit. I can do what I want.
Official permit, dude. I can do what I want.
Love
See
you.
the reverse
God.
What does it say? In reverse. Oh shit. Well, I mean, that just invalidates every argument I can ever
want.
do.
I know. Jesus
But
Christ.
then, guess what I have
When you
refused? That invalidates your invalidation permit.
Okay.
Whoa.
Time to go to class.
Time to learn.
Time to learn. Okay, and then last song. This is on the same scale as Cynthia in terms of like, oh shit, I'm about to get slaughtered, and also final battle. So enjoy.
Yes.
I love that little like
here we go.
that harp. Is that a harp in the background? That little
Like
piano.
Like the meme videos of people like dancing.
Yeah. The one kid at school, I'm like,
The little skeleton. He's like,
And the guy's like throwing his entire body and soul into it. It's like,
yeah.
Fuse is just like, he's just like drinking a coffee, reading the newspaper. He's like, oh yeah, click A again. I'm beating him like with no, like no issue at all. And then the rest of us are like, Pikachu, why are you not dying?
Go ahead and power unknown. You got this.
Yeah, amazing. This is a great like
song.
fight theme. I think they use it for like every like E4 and like red battle. So it's a little overused throughout the games, but it's still great. It's still good.
It's so good. Literally one of the best.
Yeah.
Good song. I will say that song is it's a little repetitive, just because I feel like it gets back to like this main chorus just a little bit.
A little too fast. That's fair.
Yeah. Which is,
Hey,
I mean,
Steve.
that's not. It's very minimal, but yeah.
I was gonna ask, Hayes, do you have any requests that we
any
didn't
song
cover,
requests?
or?
Yeah, I was trying to think of like what's out there. There's so many damn good ones.
I know that's so many good ones.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah, I
okay.
also-
I was just like, hey, you got any requests? Got any bangers for us?
I was thinking maybe the surf theme or ice cave.
Oh yeah,
Um,
give it to us,
Ice
Gabe.
Cave.
Make sure
Okay,
you
well,
Yeah.
restream to us.
Correct. You are correct. Ice Cave. Ice 9 kills. Yeah.
I'm
let's listen to
biased,
that.
but Route 30 is a fave too.
Route
I'll have to
30.
do-
Yeah, which one?
I forget
No,
which one it is.
30.
Okay.
The one just north of Cherry Grove.
Mhm.
I did a ton of shiny hunting there, so it's ingrained in my
yeah, but
head.
it's seated in and coded like a
Do you have any
sleeper
preference
agent.
for Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or the originals?
No, any of it is good.
Gotcha. Okay, so Ice Cave. I always forget this place exists, but a bop. It's very.
It has like a
Music
prehistoric
was good.
vibe.
This place pissed me off.
Oh yeah,
Is this part of the main story, or was this kind of like a side cave you didn't necessarily have to
it's
go
part of the main
into?
story because it's how you get to
Yeah,
the.
you had to.
You did. Okay.
Yeah,
You had to go through it to get to Blackthorn City.
Right.
This
getting
one was
kinda
like.
I suck at puzzles, dude. I hate ice puzzles.
Yep.
This one gives me the vibe of like, because I guess like Swine and Swine Up, they're not fossil Pokemon, but they're mammoths, so it makes me think, oh,
Yeah,
that's like
old.
ancient, whatever. So it has that kind of like vibe to it with like the I think it's bongos, but then it also has like the ding 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 ding, you know, like definitely icy vibes and all that. Yeah,
Definitely.
So Ice Cave is giving you icy vibes.
well, it's hard to communicate, in my opinion. It's harder to communicate winter or cold themes without making it sound like a fucking Christmas song, and this does that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it does that really well. Which it's not, you know, to a detriment. It's just like it's really hard. Again, it's just hard to communicate. Oh, this has like an ice vibe to it. This is a cold vibe to it without having like sleigh bells. Oh my god!
Jingle bell, jingle bell. Yeah, all that stuff. I know
yeah.
exactly what you mean. Route 30 through 33. Yeah,
That's a great one.
This is a classic.
Mhm.
I'm trying to remember what it sounds like. Oh yeah.
This one is like a bigger ramp up to adventure.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very like, okay, you've started your game proper. You
Right.
have a team. You're
After
going
Route
now.
29, they're like, okay, ready?
Yeah.
Go, have fun.
Go have fun.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah, great song. I always,
Great
you know,
suggestion.
a lot of the routes I forget besides Lake of Rage and the very beginning route, you know, and I'll be like, oh, I remember this one just like for this game. You know, I can remember a lot more of like the old, like Gen 1 and then Gen 3 and 4. But then this game, for some reason, I just don't have the best memory of when it comes
But
to
it's
the
all
routes.
great. Last thing I want to do is give me like Ho-Oh or Lugia's. I don't know if they're different, but like whatever that legend theme is. I remember it being pretty badass.
Let's see.
Lugia battle.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, I'm just gonna do this. Oh, bubbles!
get
Did you hear the bubbles?
Yeah.
Comes
Slows
out of
down.
waterfalls.
Yeah.
I remember this YouTube account.
Well,
Why does this sound evil?
It's got. I mean, legendaries they're not something to be trifled with, you know.
Right. Like Manaphy. Well, I guess Manaphy's not necessarily legendary.
They're like event legendaries. They're not like the box legendary, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just being silly. Left the
Anyways.
xylophone in there. That was
Yeah.
No.
That's a good one.
Wait. Oh, I'm so sorry. We've already done like a million songs. What's the tower called? That Ho-Oh is in. Just the tower itself.
Sacred Tower.
Oh.
Sacred Tower.
Tower. Gold, Soul, Silver. I love the.
Bell Tower. Bell
Bell
Tower.
Tower.
Oh,
Bell
Bell
Tower.
Tower, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
I love
obviously,
this vibe.
I mean, you know, this game was made in Japan. You know, Pokemon is, you know, Japanese game, but this is a very Japanese sounding.
I forget what
know,
that
song
instrument
with
is
the-
called. Like this, it's a string
Yeah.
instrument, and it's
Yeah.
like a very like it communicates like a shogunist vibe
Yeah.
to music
Banjo.
and stuff. That's it. You
Banjo.
got it.
Definitely the banjo, yeah.
I hear the banjo, and I think of the shogunate of Japan and samurais every time. But yes, that will conclude our music showcase. Thank you so much, Gabe. I appreciate you for that. But yeah, I think we've thoroughly dissected this generation, these games. Let's make sure we rate them like original and then remakes, since we're doing that. We'll do it 0 to 10, 10 being Elden Ring, Breath of the Wild, perfect amazingness, and then 0 being dog shit, can't play it, obviously. I'll start us off. Game Boy games, I think the original 2 are okay. They're like a 7 to 6 out of 10 for me, but I think that's just because they didn't age well. Maybe when they came out, they'd probably be a lot better, but you know, going back, and especially when you have these remakes, it's very hard to not like look at them like, all right, there's better ways to play this. Crystal does better. I give that a solid like 8. And then Heart Gold Soul Silver, that's just, again, I put it up there with the goats of this game, like 9.5. Like it's so great. It's one of the definitive versions. I think if there's anything in old Pokemon you should play, it's one of those two versions, Platinum and Emerald. That's like the pinnacle of old Pokemon. Hasty, give it to us.
All right. I would say the first Gen 2 games, I mean, they're not great. They are like really slow. They are confusing. I mean, like when I was a kid, especially, like the open world stuff was really cool, but I had no idea what the hell I was doing half the time. I would give those probably a 5 out of 10. They're okay. But I'm with you that Heart Gold Soul Silver is like, they took everything that was lacking and just increased it like crazy. They like basically made Gen 3, like the Hoenn games, like into like a Gen 2 version of those, like just really fun. The music was great. It was stylistically bright and like saturated and fun. So I would put those up on a 10 out of 10 easily.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Nice. Not many 10 out of 10s. That's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. In regards to Pokemon, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right. So the old Game Boy games, I would probably give Gold and Silver probably a 5.5, just for the simple fact that why do I need Flash to go find Lugia? Come on, what's going on?
Crazy.
It's so much fun getting Flash.
Rage. Yeah, it's so much fun using Flash on a Pokemon. Crystal, I'd give a 6.5 just because they added elements. Plus, they added like the little animation where the Pokemon jumps out for the first time. And you get to choose your gender, and a couple of other things that would add. And Suicune's honestly just badass. I love Suicune. The remakes, though, not only did they add all the stuff that was lacking in their original selves, they also let your Pokemon follow you around, which I thought was amazing and like the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh my god, he's always following me around. It's so cool. I can talk to him just like we did with the Pokemon
we didn't
Yellow.
mention the fact that we could do that. Holy shit! How did we not mention that Pokemon can follow you in these games?
Austin?
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, that's like an awesome feature of these games that we could like. I think it's like one of the only times they do it too.
Yeah.
Other than like new stuff when you can like.
But
it's
it's always very like nostalgic to me because this is also like when I first started streaming, my first game was a Pokemon Soul Silver randomizer, and I got to like just play around and just begin to start it. But honestly, like if I ever picked a game that I would want someone to go and be introduced and play Pokemon with, I would pick Heart Gold or Soul Silver to get them started with it. So for me, it's as close to a 10 out of 10 as possible for a Pokemon game, in my opinion. Especially if you want to start off with Pokemon, I'd choose this one.
I agree with that. Yeah. Gabe, finish us off.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the questions again real quick. But so yeah, the OGs. I was very young, so I don't remember them too much, but I do remember the main points. Found it very odd and jarring that the Elite Four was like in the 30s and 40s and like 50 at most. So I was like, you're the Elite Four. You would get like destroyed by like the 8th gym, in like Gen 1 or whatever. But yeah, I would say 6 out of 10. They're fun. They I thought they were very like quirky and different from Gen 1. Like leading off and everything. With the whole Slowpoke tail that's so weird and just funny and cool and all that. Funny like in a silly Pokemon way. It makes me want to go cut off now. But But then like the Bellsprout Tower, I thought that was really quirky and silly and everything like that. That was cool. All these like, and I think the set pieces were really cool. The whole in the Whitney, all these there's a lot of just humorous things throughout this game. All these kind of just like half-baked, like Whitney crying, the Slowpoke tail, the tree attacking you. I'm like, what is going on? This is like, is this a serious
you bring
game?
it up. Yeah, it's a very,
oh my God.
It's definitely one of the goofier like entries into the series in terms of just like all those set pieces and like stuff to do. That's a good point, Gabe. Yeah.
But so I think it gives it a very unique character. I love that. I love like when a game you can feel the character from a game, whether it's through dialogue or the art style or whatever it might be. The Elite Four, kind of being lacking, did bring it down for me a little bit. But yeah, just. The game was kind of awkwardly paced with that, when it wasn't linear anymore as well. So that's why 6 out of 10 for sure for the OGs. And then Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I'd say 9.5. Just damn good games, music gorgeous. And then obviously there were still a couple problems here and there, but it's been so long, and I know for a fact I would have it'd be a real treat to play through them again someday. So
sure.
yeah, absolutely, great games,
cool.
Great games.
Well, that concludes our discussion on Pokemon Generation 2, Heart Gold, or Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. Yeah, one last thing we like to do is like talk about games that we're playing that aren't these games that we're talking about. We do a little, like a little fire round, and then we can wrap up for the podcast. So something I'll start us off. Something I'm playing that's not these games. I'm currently building a competitive Devils team in Scarlet and Violet. It's ass. I won't lie, it's a bit of a grind. It takes for fucking ever because of all the lagging and whatever else. But I am having for some reason out of it, I'm getting some level of satisfaction. So that's been fun. I've also been playing. I've been dipping my toes back in Valorant because, again, the character, I mentioned that last week. The new character has been fun to play. I finally unlocked him, so that's been really nice. And I haven't spent too much of my money on the new skins in the battle pass, so that's been good. King. I know.
King shit.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to gaming wise. It hasn't been like Pokemon, and then of course I'm playing Metroid Prime on stream, which is been a good one. The remaster's so good,
so good.
But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. What about you, Hasty?
I'm going for a shiny Living Dex in Scarlet Violet. I probably will never finish it, but just that's my goal right now. Besides that, I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now. I'm doing like a little challenge run for myself. I'm doing that on stream. Just to finish it. Yeah, to finish it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out. And then, I don't know. I really don't do much offline besides a ton of Marvel Snap. And
it's a good game.
It's so good. I can't stop playing it. I'm addicted. And then Overwatch 2, sometimes I'll get an urge to play an FPS game that I'm not doo-doo at. So that's about
If you ever
it.
want to dip your toes in Valorant, I'm always available. But I know that's not more like commitment.
Clickhead simulator.
I don't even want to say yes to be nice because I don't like that game.
I get it.
It's bad.
I get it, bro. I get it.
I can't even watch people play it.
That's totally understandable. Yeah, no, my buddy plays Marvel Snap a ton. He says it's amazing, and I've heard nothing but great things from all the other like game podcasts I listen to that talk about it.
I genuinely recommend it. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's a good, especially I think it sounds like something that Fuse would love. Fuse loves like deck builders and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like a deck building, but like the games are at the max like 6 minutes, so it's like you can crank out games, and it's playing just one more game is like not gonna ruin your life and make you stay up all night. So it's good.
That's good. Yeah,
staying up all night playing games, the good old days.
Yeah, just one more game can be really dangerous.
Exactly.
One more game. One more game.
Please, Dad. Please.
Especially Valorant. When you one more game Valorant. I mean, Valorant games are like a 30-minute commitment. It's insane. That's the thing I hate about it. I just wish it was not as grindy. That's the only reason I'm not like ranked up and I'm not like good at it, because I just like I play for like 2 hours and it's like that's like two games.
Yeah, that's how Battlefield is, bro. I mean, that's you are committing to a lifetime on that game for sure.
Yeah, same with Overwatch.
Yep,
for sure. Yeah. Fuse.
So I was playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for the first time this week. Well, actually last week, and continuing to play Explorer of the Skies.
Great game.
I played it for 2 weeks. I don't know once we come back from PAX if I'll continue it, just because it's like kind of grindy, and I don't know if I can dedicate myself to that, to be honest.
Okay.
The storylines are really
the storyline is really good, but
yeah.
I can only get my ass kicked by a Badoo so many times as a Totodile. I'm not gonna lie. Without
it is very different. It is very different than, I mean, if you hacked in like ways to level up, I would not blame you just to get through the story, because the story is genuinely beautiful. Like it makes me tear up and cry. Like the first one I did, I was crying.
I might pick it up, but like we're approaching April, and in April it's also my birthday.
Happy birthday!
Yeah, April 2nd. Thank you. And I'm introducing variety to my channel. So when the new Mega Man game comes out for the Switch, I plan to play that for me. And I'm hopelessly addicted to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel again. So I'm probably gonna play that on stream, because I've loved Yu-Gi-Oh! My entire life. It's like the one card game I actually try to collect. So I've been playing a lot of that. And then I've also been playing just in my own free time the Spyro trilogy. Because those are like my first ever games for video games ever. I've been playing those. That's fantastic. I love.
Yes.
You get the remake, like the Spyro remakes are nice. Hell yeah. All right, Gabe, finish us off.
Oh, sorry. Here, one real quick. Fuse. I remember I used to, do Yu-Gi-Oh! Way back when I was a kid. I obviously didn't know how to play it. It was more like, oh, the cards were really cool, blah, blah, blah. I remember one time I opened up, I forget what pack it was, but I got an Exodia Necros, and I was like, oh, my God, he's like really rare. And then like, I think I got like the not rare version of him. It was just like a holo, and that was it, Yeah. And I was like, and then my David, my brother, was like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, oh.
I think that's like one of the top 5 hardest cards to summon ever.
Yep. I forget the whole I forget what the stipulations and the rules are for summoning specifically him, but yeah, it was
it's like an opposite of what you have to do, because Exodia, I'm sorry, I'm a nerd.
You're good
right
now.
Good. Exodia, you need to get all 5 pieces in your hand, you automatically win the game regardless of how the situation is. The opposite for Exodia Necros is you have to have all 5 pieces in the graveyard to summon him with one singular magic card from your deck. I was like, oh, okay. And he doesn't even get any cool special features besides being 1,800 points, and he gets some other effects, but like, I'd rather just have the 5 pieces in my hand and win the game.
Yeah.
Well, didn't they do that because the 5 like Exodia decks got banned eventually? Like, didn't they do that as
they got limited? They got limited to 1 per piece. Just to be fair. Right. If you had like 3 of each piece, like the odds of you getting that so fast with like draw spam cards, it's like boom, you automatically win no matter turn 1. So I was like, oh god.
Okay, sorry. I'll get to my games real quick. Off stream, I am playing. I'm literally at the end of Dead Space. The Dead Space remake. Love that game. It is the perfect way of remaking a game, whether it's a horror game or whatever. Another horror game being remade. It is a good year for horror fans. Silent Hill, Dead Space, or Silent Hill 2, I should say.
Yeah, I was say, isn't Silent Hill coming out?
Silent Hill 2 remake.
And Resident Evil 4.
And Resident Evil 4. That's actually
that was the other one I was thinking. Yeah,
I played the
scary games,
dude.
So good though.
So the thing about Resident Evil 4 is it is still horror for sure. I think the remake is going to be a lot more horror focused because it's a very like, oh, where's everyone going? Bingo, like just like silly one-liners, and it's like cartoony, goofy, whatever. But I played through the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw demo is what it's called. It's just like the first taste of the game, where you go into the village, and Europe, it's basically Spain you're in. It's, oh my god, it is so fun. Oh my god, I love the original Resident Evil 4. I had it on the Switch, on GameCube, on the Wii, on fucking Xbox 360, on the Xbox One. It's like Skyrim. You just get it on every like platform because it's just, you love it every time.
It's a great game.
Yes. The demo, really, really fun. I wish it was a bit longer. I remember back when demos were kind of long and like you got some more substance in them. But regardless, so fun, so excited. It comes out this Friday, actually, in less than 7 days. So I'm excited. That's going to be something I'm streaming. And then Silent Hill 2, I am anxiously waiting for, whenever that will be.
Exciting.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Scare me.
Spoopies. All right, Hasty. Where can they find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/hastygloom, or Twitter with the same name. Technically Instagram and TikTok, but they're a mess, so
I feel that.
Hesitate before you follow there, but
for real. And we always forget to do this. Make sure to follow the rest of us here. Twitch.tv/Favlam, Twitch.tv/Excellion96, Twitch.tv/ShortToFuse. Make sure you follow all of us and do that thing, because we love to stream. That's what we spend most of our time doing. So,
and I have one final question right before we end.
Go for it.
Do you guys think they eat scrambled eggs in the Pokemon games? And if so, what eggs are they using?
Execute.
Execute.
Power.
Yeah. Executor. That's it. It has to be. And it like mass produces them, because like when they Executor, you hatch an Executor from one egg, it becomes like 12 eggs or whatever, however many is in that little bundle of them.
Yeah, maybe if you just pick one off of them, a new one will grow back. So it's like minimal.
Yeah.
It's like regenerative.
There you go.
Infinite egg glitch.
There it is.
Missing
There's no hunger. Yeah. There's no world hunger in Pokemon.
There's no world hunger in Pokemon. Nope.
Yeah,
only
for
Slowpoke tails. That's the only shortage we got.
Yeah.
That's why I have to hunt delicacies.
Godspeed.
Oh, God.
All right. That will do it for us here on the Boost View podcast. Thank you so much, Hasty, for being a guest and being wonderful. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on the YouTube, follow us, and rate us on Spotify and whatever other podcasting platform you listen to us on. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for us. And I hope you all have a good one. Any last nickels, guys?
Bye-bye.
Toad loves you.
All right, bye everybody. We'll see you guys. Oh, we're gonna be at PAX. Most of us, not Gabe, but the other three of us will be at PAX. So if you're going to PAX East, we will see you guys there.
Wait, this isn't gonna be
Bye,
aired.
everybody. Oh wait, yeah, that's right. It won't be aired.
Well, guess what?
No
they had
episode.
fun at PAX, guys, and they
Yeah,
went.
yeah, we had fun at PAX.
That's right.
PAX was so much fun. It was so
my
cool
God,
seeing
it
you
was
guys.
so
Did you
great.
guys
Oh my
like
God, so
walk
amazing.
and stuff?
Yeah, we walked and we
Oh my god. All right.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Love you. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye, Dops.
My God.
Okay.